Okay, welcome back to Shall We Dance? My name is Steve. This is Michelle. Today's dance will be the disco, also known as hustle. We're going to begin, as we've done in the past, with some basic steps, then work our way up to some intermediate moves. Next week's dance will be the bolero, which will be sort of showing you a little preview of in the middle of this program. Before we start, gentlemen, it's important that you start off with your left foot. Ladies, you'll want to begin with your right foot. We're going to start with a merengue type of a hustle, which means no syncopation. Guys, you take your left foot, and ladies, you take your right foot. We simply begin by stepping back away from each other, 1, lifting up the forward leg, and stepping back down 2, and then stepping towards each other, 3, and back on 4. Very much like a marching action. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 3, we apply a bit of pressure. 1, 2, push. 1, 2, push. Now, as we do this, all the steps we show you with syncopation, you should be able to do with this technique, which is a merengue technique. We'll take a 2-hand hold, push on the 3. 1, 2, push on the 3. 1, 2, push on the 3. That's right, okay? Then we're going to start going in a circular direction, clockwise. So men on 3, instead of stepping at your partner, take a side step, and then crossing back. So you do a basic step, a side step, and a cross and back. Back step, side step, back to the basic. And this is what we call a circular basic or a turning basic with merengue timing. Okay? Now, we're going to break into syncopation. When we do syncopation, what we're basically doing is we're taking one of the beats and cutting it in half, making a musical variation out of it. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, we begin with a count and we call it and, okay? Now on and, the lady will go with her left foot, the man will go with his right, and what we're going to do here, if you're following along, take the ball of the left foot, guys, ladies, the ball of the right, and you want to spring off of it, and then step forward 1. Then we step forward 2 and back on 3. And then we repeat the action, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. So instead of the pressure being on the 3, now it's on the 2. And 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. Right. And now Michelle and I are adding the arm style to it. When you back step, you let the arm swing out. On the forward step, you push towards one another. Push, step, ball change, push, step, ball change. That's right. Then we go to a 2-hand hold. Same action with the feet. And 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. And that's our basic step in the disco. Now we're going to take the step and we're going to turn it. In order to turn it, we do the same thing on the and 1, guys. Ladies, same thing on your and 1. And 1. Now, on the side step with the left foot, or on the former forward step, take it and step to the side. And as the men step to the side, the lady takes her right leg and steps forward and across. 2, and we come back on 3 feet together. So let's take another look at that. We count and 1, 2, 3. Now we're perfectly positioned for our and again. And 1, and we're back to the basic. And 1, 2, 3, and 1, push. And 1, 2, 3, and 1, push. And it's a good idea, if you are doing this with us, to do a basic step turning and a basic step in place, so neither one of you gets too dizzy as you go through it. 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1. Okay, so that's our basic step. Now you may eventually want to eliminate your basic in place and just do a couple of circular actions. Okay? And that's what that's going to look like. When you want to come out of it, guys, just stop circulating. Back to the basic. 2, 3, and 1. So what we have so far is the basic step and the turning basic. Now we're going to go ahead and give you the first underarm turn. This is the ladies' underarm. And the way this works, we do the same thing with the basic step. And 1. Now, as we step here, we're going to pull with the left hand, guiding our partner towards us, but we're going to sidestep, letting her go through. 2, and then we complete the turn on 3. Then we repeat the and 1. And 1, we bring that hand up across our chest, men, and over her head. forward, step, and then syncopate, and 1. And another look at it, we'll go a little slower. And 1, 2, 3, and 1. Now, if you want a different look on this same move, you hold on to your partner's both hands, putting your thumbs gently on top, men, okay? You never ever have a tight grip. Very loose grip. As you bring your partner underneath, take your right hand, put it on her waist, and let it slide right out to her hand. That way there, when you turn, it looks as though no break ever really occurred. We call that an illusion. 2, 3, and 1. 2, 3, and 1. 2, 3, and 1. Now, if you are following along, don't do this that many times with your partner. She might be saying, I'm dizzy at this point. Okay? So once again, just breaking that down for you, we take the two-hand hold, keeping our arms out. We do the back step and 1, hand to the waist, slides right out, and then back step again. Okay? Now we have to get the men to do their turn. When we turn the ladies' men, we use our left arm. When we turn ourselves, we use our right arm. As we turn ourselves, we're going to do the same beginning step, and 1. Now, when we step, we're going to step right at our partner over to her right side, and as we step forward with our left foot, we bring that right arm up and over, and ladies, you're going to go around the man. Same action as what he did to you. Take your hand, drop it around his waist here, and it'll slide right out to his hand. Okay? Again, with a slow motion position like that, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. And again, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay? Now we combine both turns. We'll do the basic first. Now we'll turn the lady, then we'll go right into my turn, and then back to the basic. Lady will go, the man will go, and back to the basic. And once again with a count, and 1, basic step, and 1, the lady goes, and 1, the man goes, and you're back to the basic. Okay, now before we break off of this, we're going to give you one more look at it. Again, changing the look, but keeping the same step. All we do here is a setup with a basic, bring the lady through, and this time, instead of leaving the hand around the waist and catching it, we're going to bring our free arm up. Now, as we go by each other, she connects with the arm and goes through, and when we complete the turn, the other arm goes up while we syncopate. So the connection now occurs on the 2. And 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. Now this is the same exact turn you've just done a few seconds ago, but because the arm style is different, the look of the step is also different. So let's take a look at all 3 of those. We have our basic, the illusion one, and now the one-hand hold one. And there it is. Okay? So those are some of your spins that you will need to get some variety and some interesting moves in your disco. The next move we're going to show you is going to be a thing called a cuddle or a basket. And first we'll dance it for you, and then we'll break it down. With disco, it's always the same basic step. It's always and 1, 2, 3. Now, when we do this basket move, taking the left hand, we bring it up over the lady's head. As we bring that right arm around her waist, we then drop the left arm in front of her, and this is the basket position. So we're in a side-by-side. Both partners will now do a syncopation, and the lady will go through. So another look at that. We bring her in, bring her back, and out she goes. Circling basic. Lady comes in, and out she goes. Okay? Now that's the first part of our intermediate group today, the basket. 2, 3, and 1. Okay? Staying along that same sort of guideline, this next thing is called a chicken wing. Okay? This will involve taking the lady's left hand and twisting it, twisting the wrist, and letting it end up behind her. Let's turn Michelle around here so you can see what's happening here. We have the handhold. Okay, actually we have two handhold. Take your right hand, guys. It's like turning a doorknob. You do the N1, N1. As the lady is stepping forward, take your wrist, turn it. 2, and at this point, guide her to inside the arm for 3. Okay? Now you're in that chicken wing position. She will now syncopate, and 1, and we lift the left arm to let her through. 2, 3, and we face each other there. Okay? And now we're about ready to come out with a spin. We do and 1 overhead, 2, 3, and 1. Okay, another look at that. We go. Back step, forward, in, back step. Underarm, back step, turn, step, back step, 2, 3, and 1. And we're going to change the angle a bit, okay? So we're going to go real slow here. Ladies, if you're following along, watch Michelle's feet as you will do this turn repeatedly, okay? I'll try to break it down as she's doing it. You do your syncopation, and 1, 2, 3. That part of it we call just a rock turn. Now you're going to syncopate, and 2, and go through 2, 3, okay? From here now, pull the free foot back. It should be your right foot. You're going to do a back step, then a forward step, and here it's a turn. She'll complete the turn on that foot, and then shift over halfway through her spin, and then syncopate to get out of there. Okay, let's try one more time. We'll do it slowly like that, then we'll show you what it looks like when you move with it quicker. It's the syncopation, line up, spin, spin, syncopate, and out she goes. Okay, now with full speed, and I should talk about what the man does here. Guys, most of the time we're just a frame anyway. All we can do is be a relatively good frame. So we bring her in. As we bring her through here, you may want to hit sort of one of these positions here. And then as she spins, shift the weight back over and bring her across. Okay, now with full speed and count, it will look very much like. And 1, 2, 3, and 1. Tuck the arm behind, and 2. Bring her through, and 3. Spin, and 4. Out, and 5, and you're back to your basic position. Once again, we go. And 1, 2, 3, and 2. Bring her through, and 3, 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay, we're going to try those steps first to some music now. So if we can have our musical director turn on the sound for us. Positioning, that was the chicken wing. This next thing is an overhead wrap. We take the right hand, guys, okay, our right hand. We pull the lady in and position her next to us on our right side. Now, ladies, the thing to keep in mind on your part, when you take your left hand, as the man brings it up over your head, he's going to try to drop it onto your shoulder, right there. It should cause, if you've done it right, a little pyramid shape in front of you, okay? When he tries to drop that down, let him. A lot of times when he's trying to lead this move, the women aren't sure what's going on, and it ends up being a little struggle. Then you syncopate, and you go into what's known as a window. Yeah. Then we let the lady syncopate again, and we pull, spin, pull, same turn as before. Now syncopate and come out, 2, 3, and 1. And we try again. So, bringing the arm up over the lady's head to the shoulder, underneath, position, spin, and through. Good. And one more time. We do the basic. Circular action over her head. Let her through, pull, spin, spin, and out. And now we'll combine both those moves for you. First the chicken wing. Put a basic in between while we collect our thoughts. Circle the right arm up over her head. Turn, and out she goes. All right. And one more time with that last one. We do back step, overhead circle, through, and out. Good. Now, before we go on to our advanced portion of today's show, we want to just tell you about some upcoming events. On the first Friday in February, we'll be having a showcase at Myronis Park. Any of you interested in going to that, come on down or give a call. Okay, we'd be very happy to give you whatever information you need. Basically, we'll be dancing from 7 to midnight, okay? Also, if you are looking for places to dance, don't forget, pick up the newspaper, look in the newspaper. A lot of these papers have places to go to here in Worcester. So hopefully, maybe we'll see you out sometime. Now, we're on to the next part here. But before we do the bolero, we want to give you the next advanced movement in disco. This one's a tough one, so we'll go through it slowly, okay? Looks like this. Man goes through, spins. Lady does 5 continuous rolls, a knee lock, and a wave, another wave, and a pivot, 4 of those, and then out. And what were we going to call that one, Michelle? It was the knee lock and wave. The knee lock and wave. Okay, so this is the knee lock and wave. So once again, taking another look at it. Now we have to go quickly with it because of the momentum involved. So I won't be able to slow this part down for you. Man spins, 5 turns, knee lock, this would be it here, and the wave, and the wave. 1, 2, 3, 4 pivots out, and out to the basic step. Now we will break that down somewhat for you, okay? When the man spins like this, he has to bring his left hand across his chest and his right hand up over his head. And the thing that makes him turn is the lady going by him. See, she's got this pull right here. For those of you that remember the old-fashioned lawnmowers where you used to have to pull to start them, this is what's going on right here. Michelle will pull. See, she makes me spin. You don't see that when we're doing it because it gets done quite quickly. But one more look at it. I'm going through. She does a little pull action. As I go through, I take her hand. Now we start our 5 turns. Now we probably can do more than 5. It's going to be up to you, but we decided on 5. Take your right hand, guys, and stir counterclockwise. Stir, 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 stir. Let the hand drop around the lady's waist, okay? This is tricky here now. Once you're here, and you can't, let me just move this over a little bit, Michelle. Okay, once you're here, where is it? There it is, okay? You've got the hand hold, you both bend the knees and lock. Ladies, once you get there, lock onto that man's knee. Now what we'll do is, I don't even have to hold her hand here, but you may want to, okay? She dips back, rolls, and repeat. And the last move, she's standing on her left foot. Guys, you're standing on your right. You're going to go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. On 4, we hold our position. She spins away, and we reach out for her. Okay, so one more time before our bolero. It looks like, and 1, 2, 3, and 2, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into the knees, around, around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1. Okay, and one time full speed, and then we're off to the preview. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Ba, ba. Okay, so depending on how fast your music is, we will be dancing this obviously at the end of the program, but depending on how fast it is, that is basically how that's going to look when you have it down. Now, the preview of next week's dance is the Bolero. We're going to let the music play, do a little bit for you. Okay, now that's Bolero. That'll be featured next week. We are on Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock, most Tuesdays. Hopefully you'll catch the program. If you do have any questions, I believe we're in the process of setting up a website, www.shallwedance.com. Okay, they tell me.
It'll be hyphen
oh,
MA.
hyphen. What's that?
Shall we dance hyphen MA?
Okay, got that right. Okay, now finishing up today. Before we wrap up, we're going to do the last move, the free spin. This is a threatening one for the guys. Guys, on the free spin, generally you do your circular action, you release the lady, she spins to you, and then you go and you pick her up. Now, Michelle actually spun rather slowly that time. She actually can spin a lot faster, but it's a good idea when you do start to start in the slow mode and then increase the speed. Okay, one thing before we stop today, as you reach, men, when you're reaching, and this is more of a ladies thing to remember than the guys, as you're spinning in, ladies, the man is aiming for your shoulder, chest area. By the time you get to him, he gets your back. So it's a good idea never to stop in the middle of a spin, okay? We'll do it one more time before we're running out of time. One more time before we wrap up with dancing here. The free spin, I start moving, and by the time I react, she's there. Okay? It can cause a real awkward situation for you if you, ladies, if you stop a little soon and the guy accidentally makes contact with the upper chest area. Okay? So you don't really want that to happen to yourself. Now, we are glad you've joined us again. We hope to see you next